Hi, everyone. I know, surprise. I'm just working on setting up this live stream here, and I was supposed to have it scheduled, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how this thing goes, so bear with me for a second. There's nobody here yet. Bear with me for a second while I share my stream. There we go. Okay, so I have a stream going. Sorry, guys, I have to share it. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, and it's super late. So I wanted to come on here and tell you about some crazy stuff that happened to me today, which made me start really thinking about whether maybe this whole digital ID and having everything on the phone was not such a great idea. Like, there could be some serious problems. I want to tell you about the crazy thing that happened to me today. And it was a bit of a wake up call. So I'm just going to share my stream here on Facebook. Um, I can't actually see if there's anyone there. I can't see you guys right now because I'm still trying to share my stuff. The last time it worked, technical difficulties. The last time I was able to set it up before and not have to do this while I'm live, but I don't know. It's one way one time, it's another way another time. I'll get better at it. I've had a lot of fun talking to you guys live, though. I wanted to tell you that. I'll share it on Patreon. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed talking to you guys live. It was more fun than making videos, to tell you the truth. Okay, let's see if anyone has stopped in yet. Hey guys, oh my gosh, while I was away posting my stuff, trying to tell people that I exist out here, I'm out here in cyberspace existing because they didn't even know. Oh my gosh, a whole bunch of you showed up. So happy to see you. Hey, hi, James. I'm gonna say hi to everybody individually. I'm so happy to see all of you here. That was like the worst like 2 minutes of streaming ever on YouTube. Grandma's here trying to figure out, is this thing working? Tap tap, trying to share my stream. Hi Olivier. Hi Vicky. You guys, nice to see you. Hi Dale. Hi Shadow. Hi Jonathan. Hi Pedro. Hi Markintosh. Hi Dana. Nice to see you guys. Hi Velvet Soul. Hi Gary. Hi Lily. Okay, you guys, I titled this, let me reposition myself. I titled this thing something to do with digital ID because I had a bad experience today. I mean, not bad, like, I mean, I've had worse ones. It wasn't like the worst experience I've ever had in my life, but let's just say it was kind of, I was shaken and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is where we're heading. Like, this is, I could see some problems with this. So, it's so nice to see you guys. Seriously, you guys are my sunshine. Hi, Kim. So, this is my phone. This is a new phone that I had to get today because something happened to my phone and it was really random. Like, I got up, at some point I opened my phone, went online a little bit, and then I came to my desk to transfer some pictures. Everything was fine. And then my phone like had a horrible accident. It was like my phone had an aneurysm. It was bad. I don't know what happened. Hi Spirit. Um Vicky says, I want to know, was I right not to get one? I want to let you guys know that, okay, first of all, it is almost 10 o'clock at night, which is kind of crazy for me to be live streaming. But because of the horrible, like, mixed up day that I had, and because of other stuff that happened this week, I wasn't able to like put a video together. And I also just wanted, since the last live stream, I wanted to do one where we could just sort of have like a hangout, like a meet and greet kind of hangout, because you guys are awesome, and I think you guys should probably make friends with each other. Like, we all get along pretty well here. So I just wanted to create a space, wanted to create a safe space for you guys. Wait, let me see. Do I have any crayons? I have some crayons for you. I'm fresh out of hot chocolate. Sorry, but I just want to create a safe space here so you can message each other, maybe get to know each other. Although it is kind of weird because they don't have the like direct messaging thing anymore where you can like say give somebody their email address. But anyway, yeah, like safe space. It's like there's no safe spaces out there anymore. This is pretty much the only place. A Discord server. Yeah, my son is always joking about uh, Discord mods and their neck beards. So, you know, Vicky and Olivier, if we set up a Discord server, you're gonna have to get yourself a neck beard because I think it's part of the culture. You know, you can't see me. What do you mean you can't see me? Can you guys see me? Don't freak me out now. Dana says she can't see me. That's not normal. Okay, I see that you can hear me. There's a bit of slow mode on. Anyway, you see me? Okay, great. Merci, Olivier. I made you a moderator. I had to I had to wait for you to comment on my video to find your channel. Because you look up Olivier, you don't find Olivier Le Crapaud. You can't find him. I had to like keep the tab open for days, waiting for this day, waiting for this hour where I could make you a moderator. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. So where was I? I was just telling you about what happened and how it all went wrong. I can't remember. I was telling you something else. But anyway, so yes, it's late at night. I really enjoyed doing this, and I wanted to have one like really informal where we could just sort of hang out and talk a little bit. And I'll take more time to read your texts. So here's what happened. Oh, hi, Jeff. I'm so happy to see you here. So what happened was my phone had an aneurysm. And it gave me like the phone equivalent of the blue screen of death, but worse. It was like red, yellow, and blue, and it had this horrible, ominous message about there being something really wrong with my phone. I don't remember what it was, but it was like it only gave me 4 options: restart, try again, wipe all my data, or view the app data log. And I did try again. I did restart. I went into app data log, and I was like, what is this? I don't know what to do with this information. Then it said, like your only other choice to wipe all your data or go to the store and they'll fix it for you. So I thought, well, I better just go see the experts. So I went down to the Samsung store. And before I tell you like about the phone aspect of it, sorry, frog in my throat. So I went down there and it was really hard on me because you guys know I have like a medical mask exemption. I have a paper. I still wear it a lot of the time anyway, just to keep the peace as much as I can. But I went in there and I had it on for some time. And then I was like, listen, I have this condition. I have a paper and I really can't stay in this store and like do this. Like it was like I could not understand what he was saying to me. It was like my sensory. It was like breaking down because there was people talking next to me. The guy had a mask on, so I couldn't see his lips. Because that would have helped. But I couldn't see his face. So I was like looking really intensely in his eyes, like trying to understand what is he saying. I had my hands like this, like trying to create like a radar sphere where, to block out the noise and to try to catch more of what he's saying. But it was like I was really struggling so hard to follow the conversation. So I was like, okay, I gotta pull it down. He's like, it's fine, It's like I have a paper and whatever. He's like, it's okay. So we went through this thing with my phone where they basically, and I'm gonna come back to why I'm telling you about the face covering. We went through this thing about my phone. He was telling me, we could repair it for $250. We could send it out for repairs. And yeah, Samsung has a store. Yeah, we could try to repair it for $250, but you won't get your data back. They had to wipe all the data and start it in safe mode. Or you can get a new phone, pay it off over the next 2 years. So I was like, I think I'll just get a new phone because actually the price on the new phone was really worth it compared to the price of what's flying around. I see something like flying around behind me. What was that? The place is haunted. Let's hope it was rabbit fur. Did you guys see that? I just saw. I wish I didn't have the slow mode on. It kind of sucks. Did you see that? It was like a little white thing that was like flying around behind me? Like now I'm freaked out. Anyway, it was the ghost of my old phone that died. So yeah, the price was not bad. It was like maybe double what I would have paid for the stupid repair. But anyway, I ended up just figuring like, okay, now it'll be on warranty for 3 years. So I just went ahead and did that. We go over, I'm going to tell you about the mask part though. We go over to see the guy and to get the phone, and he's like, oh, you have to wear a mask in here. And I was like, yeah, but I have this paper. I showed him the paper. He's like, yes, but I said, there is such a thing as an exemption, and like it's a medical thing. Sorry, guys. Here's my paper. And he's like, because I told him like it's a law. You can't just like kick me out of the store. And he's like, no, but our policy at Samsung is that if you have a medical exemption and you can't wear the mask, you have to wait until there's no one in the store, which is never going to happen. And it's not like they're going to have you there and then not let more people in. They're going to let people in. And then when there's nobody, then you're wait outside. And then when there's no one in the store, then you can come in, which means you can never come in. So, I mean, if I'm wearing it, like it is going to make it really difficult for me. I'm going to have some repercussions later, but it's not like I'm not able to physically put it on. So I was like, oh my God. I talked to these guys, and the guys in the store were actually really nice. I ended up feeling really bad for them. I was like, wow, it was all just corporate policy. It wasn't up to them. And I felt like, oh, you poor guys, it's got to be hard for you too. Anyway, I did wear it. I did struggle with it, but I got through it. But I thought, what if somebody has like a breathing tube, or they're like really, really heavily disabled with like tubes and facial stuff, and they can't even put it on at all? You're going to have them sitting outside the store until there's no other normal customers? I mean, I couldn't believe this. I was just like, wow, this is really like, this is new. I've never heard this policy before. So anyway, oh man, I wish I didn't have slow mode on. I don't know how I can change it. I don't know if it's even possible. What does this button do? I'm going to press a button. It's going to do something. I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it. I don't know. Like I can edit the stream. But anyway. But I was just really shocked. It's like, our government laid out guidelines that people have to wear a mask. They laid out guidelines for exceptions, but some stores have like added to it and found ways that they want to just sort of customize this in ways that are really oppressive to people. I mean, I guess because they can't just say, no, you can't wear one. So they're like, well, you can, but you have to wait until there's no one in the store. So, I mean, that's awful. I can't imagine like, what if somebody really 100%, like there's no way they can ever wear it? Anyway, so I had to go through this whole thing with my phone. And just to tell you though, like, because I was in there for so long and there's the lights and the sound and having this on my face and everything, I left there and I was like, I had no brain in my head. I came home, I slept until like 8 o'clock. It like destroyed my day, my whole day. This is all my day was, getting my son to school and dealing with my phone, my whole day. And that's why I'm here live streaming at 10 o'clock at night. But so the thing about the phone was they want us to have digital ID and digital banking, and they want everything to be on here. And with just what happened today, I just thought, man, like at this point, I have the option. I have my driver's license also in my wallet. I have all my cards in there. I have my bank cards. I have everything. Now imagine if this was the only wallet that I have and then something goes wrong with it. What if, okay, and luckily I'm in the city and I could just go down to the Samsung store and actually buy a new phone. Two things. First of all, what if you don't have the money to buy a new phone? What if you just can't go, oh yeah, just put it on my credit card. I'll pay it off in the next couple of years. It's fine. Not everybody can do that. So whoever's coming up with this scheme that we should all have all our ID on a smartphone is working backwards from the assumption that everyone can afford one of these and afford one that's fully functional. And then if something goes wrong, they can just replace it. I mean, I guess that's Francois Legault's reality. People like that, they can certainly do that. But, and I mean, this is apart from like what Spirit I Am is saying, look at what Trudeau did with your bank accounts frozen. Yeah. But apart from that, your actual physical phone, now this becomes your life. This becomes your wallet, your bank card. It becomes everything. Yeah, Velvet, I think that inevitably that's where it's going to head. Yeah. So this becomes your everything. And then all it took was for some weird glitch to affect my phone, and my phone had a complete coronary, it had a total breakdown. And all of a sudden, it's like, if this is my digital identity, I become like a non-person. If this is where everything is, just because of some kind of problem. Now I cannot buy anything. I can't show who I am. Who knows what else I'm supposed to do with this thing? So, number one, not everyone can afford to just replace their phone or even pay to get it repaired. What if you don't have that kind of money? I mean, normally you might be able to have like a backup burner phone or something. Like they said to me, I could just get a burner phone and put my card in it. Yeah, I could have paid $50 for a burner phone, flip phone, put my chip in it, and I could still use my phone. But because now I'm hooked up with some accounts where, you have to click on a link, like, when you verify or when you log in or whatever, I thought I don't really want to do that, because that's how I got locked out of my eBay account the last time, because I couldn't get in because I had a burner phone. But the other thing is, what if you go somewhere and then it breaks down and you're not, yeah, Spirit I Am says you could lose your phone. That's another thing. Yeah, even if you lose your phone, what, you just get another phone? Does the government give it to you? If you just lose your phone, hi Allison. Is Francois Legault just going to hand you another one? Oh, sorry about that. You lose your phone, ben voila. What are we going to have, like a new department of the government where they just like hand out smartphones? Something's is very strange. And like, imagine if you were, you're on the road, and wherever you are, you can't just get yourself a new one of these. What are you going to do? What if you're not downtown? What if like you're on a little road trip, you're in a different city? Or what if, you're in the country? What if you like live in, I don't know, Saskatchewan? There's places out there where it's like you have to go really far to get to like a hospital or anything. I mean, I haven't been there, but I've seen some videos about it. There's probably some of you in the chat who are from Saskatchewan who are like gonna laugh. Oh, she thinks that we live in huts, like out in the country. But I've seen that there's some places where it's so rural, it's not easy to just displace yourself and get what you need. And then what if, when you start down the road, okay, now we're getting a little sci-fi here, but seriously, I think this is where we're heading. We get to the point where, you have a smart car, and do you have to use your phone to start your smart car? Does it interact with it? I mean, I could just see how like having your entire life on a device of any kind could be a serious problem. And the other thing was, the Google account that I was logged into in the phone was logged into in other places as well. But if you get a phone and you don't have anywhere, like you're not logged in somewhere else, and you have some trouble to log into your new phone, like what are you going to do? I was trying to understand, how does that work? He was saying, if it's connected with that phone, if the account is connected with it, it'll automatically, put the code in. But like, I mean, if something goes wrong with your phone and you're logged out of your accounts and you need to verify your accounts like through your phone, like you're screwed. I mean, it was such a hassle today just to go there, be there all day, have to spend like almost $500. Yeah, and Hold on, I need a vaping break here. I'm going to just read your comments for a second. Oh, okay. Dale says they're already saying digital ID will be required to make digital currency transactions of central bank digital currencies. Interesting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get my iPad. Okay, because I don't want to navigate off the page here because I want to be able to see you guys' comments. I've been doing it again. I've been bookmarking everything on Facebook that I find interesting. Side, like a tangent here, like side story. I seriously have alienated a lot of people by doing that. I've alienated people because I'm posting links, but I mean seriously, they're just links for like just news stuff. But when people see that I post a link, they automatically make a lot of assumptions about what it means that I posted this link. So they figure that, oh, anonymous is just like, I don't know, whatever I have left. It's like a mix of fruity and tobacco. um, they'll assume that it represents my political views or my social views, and it doesn't. Like sometimes I'll find an article that is really like the opposite of what I think, and I'll post it because I'll come back to it later. I'll be like, well, that's interesting. I wonder where those people are coming from that they think like that. Hi, Diane. And I just posted on there to bookmark it so I can go back and study it some more later and see like what's this all about. So it doesn't always mean that what I'm putting on my feed means that this is what I think and this is what I think you should think. I guess that's what other people do. Hi, Long Tong Sun. Hi in America. Um, all right. Anyway, so yeah, I have my links on my Facebook. So I wish I could like show you this. I just want to experiment for a second and see like, oh, don't tell me my iPad's going to die now too. That's going to be bad. Okay, wait. Just want to see if you're able to see it, like if I do this with it, or does that not work? Oh, you can kind of see it. Okay, so if I find a link there, okay, this is one that's causing some controversy here in Montreal right now. I'm going to open the article and show you. This might be like kind of hodgepodge. Oh, my iPad is also really slow. So it hasn't opened yet, but it will. It's in French too, so only Vicky and Olivier, I guess, will understand it. But I'll tell you what it says. So it's here. It's from. See, I need screen capture software or the streaming software, but it's like I finally just got to this point. Where is it? Oh, it's all backwards too. Oh well, I'll just show you the pictures. Okay, live and learn. Learning all the time, learning all the time. Artificial intelligence to improve your um, educational success, your success at school. This is from Journal du Québec, so this is like our total mainstream, basically propaganda papers. So this is not El Conspiratorio. Le ministère de l'Éducation entreprend un virage sans précédent. So the Minister of Education is like taking a turn that has no precedent. So they are investing in a digital program that's supposed to improve school success, which will permit them to identify students that are at risk. Okay, let me see. I don't want to read the entire thing. Hold on a second. Let me find the part where it says, an incredible tool. We can detect which children are in a gray zone who could fall through the cracks. Digital intelligence. This initiative is part of a projet d'intelligence numérique, so digital intelligence project that was announced Monday by Legault. Sorry, bear with me a bit while I translate here. I wish they would say exactly what this tool does. Hold on a second. So they're going to use some kind of digital intelligence. I guess that's artificial intelligence is what it means. So they're going to use AI now to assess your kids at school and figure out which ones of them are in the gray zone that are going to fall through the cracks. Just the same way that Facebook can predict what's coming next in your life. You ever notice like Facebook starts sending you ads for, it somehow knows what's coming up, or what you might, like it knows what's going on with you. There was this one story about a guy that got, it started getting like messages from Facebook or ads or something about how to deal with a teenage pregnancy, like your teenage daughter being pregnant. And it turned out his daughter was actually got pregnant, but he didn't know that at the time. And Facebook wasn't supposed to know it either. But somehow they figured out that his daughter was going to get pregnant. So let's see. It can give its tools to give a portrait in real time, I guess, of what's going on with the kids. And so they're going to have like this digital dashboard. So that's going to integrate like absenteeism and all kinds of other things on them. So basically, they're going to be like collecting data on the kids at school, and use AI. Hi, Zorro. And that's just here. And that's just one part of it, because the other thing is that at the same time as they're telling people in Quebec, they're going to be using AI to assess their kids and to kind of gauge like how much they're at risk. They're also giving kids a, what do you call that? Like a lanyard with a card on it with a puce, with a chip. This is now integrating into the bus system here. So like when your kid gets on the bus to go to school or get picked up, it has to use a chip, and it involves like a QR code. So the bus driver doesn't just pick up the kids and then bring them home and the mom is there to pick them up. This is some kind of system involving a chip and a QR code. And they're starting with the kids. They're not making us do this to, take the metro. I mean, yes, we have a bus pass that has a chip in it, but I don't think it's really tracking like everywhere you went. Maybe it does. How does it know where you got off the bus? No, it doesn't know. Maybe it can tell you where you went when you went in, but it doesn't know where you got out. There's no way. So with the kids that are taking the school bus, it's going to know when they got on, and then also it's like they have to sort of sign out with this chip. But like, why? I mean, I know that there was one time where there was a couple times where I was like, where's my son? He didn't get home on time. And I had to call the company, and they said, they have to call the driver and find out where he is. But that was pretty much it. There was no such thing as like, we don't know where our kids are. But for some reason, they think that it's good to start with the kids with the QR code and a chip to get on and off the transportation. So that, plus the fact that they're using AI to like assess the kids at school, people are concerned about that here. Let's see what else. I had a couple other things here that were concerning this kind of stuff. Okay. Apparently the social credit system in China prevents people from traveling, but I think you guys already knew that. That if you're, funny, we were just talking about the lanyards and the chips that the kids are going to have to use to take the bus to get on and off. I'm not trying to get super paranoid here, but are you going to have to eventually use this as an adult to get on public transport? They also created, they're trying to like find ways to get people to stop using their cars, besides the fact that they're going to like outlaw the sale of gas cars by 2030. Originally it was supposed to be 2025. Now it's going to be 2030 in Quebec. And they created this new thing. It was called like the Flexi bus or something in Quebec City, which is supposed to replace, you already have city buses, but now there's going to be like this little hop on, hop off kind of thing where you get on it and it'll take you a block or two. And then there's going to be one going the other direction. It can only take a few people at a time. But if you're, they're trying to find ways to replace it. But at the same time, yeah, they will have a tramway. Yeah, well, they're going to have a tramway here in Montreal, and they're building all this infrastructure for like a train kind of thing. But no, this is like it's like a little bus that you can just sort of hop on and hop off. But at the same time, they're like introducing QR code and a chip to get on and off, and it knows not only when you got on but when you got off. So, and I mean, certainly they can prevent you from getting on certain kind of transportation already in Canada. It kind of makes you wonder, like, well, you're going to have this thing, or you won't be able to get on the little hop on, hop off bus, or you won't be able to get on the school bus. Obviously, kids have to have it, or they won't let them on. So, is that going to be us next? I mean, I thought it was worth paying attention to this. It could be nothing. It could be just something that they do with the school bus. Maybe it won't even take off, or maybe it's just another, you know, it's like just like the early phase of something. Hold on. So I've got, like I told you, I had saved all these things here. There was something very interesting that came from the UK, which I'm looking for, concerning, they were telling people, oh, here it is. From Kent Live, this is from England. Credit and debit cards could be declined at the checkout from Monday. So in the UK, here, I just want to show you the article. See that? Kent Live, UK media, and they're telling people your credit or your debit card could be declined when you go to the cash. Short notice. Sorry about that. If the shoppers warned of increased safety checks when paying on card at checkout. If the retailer isn't set up to authorize the checks, your card could be declined on the spot. So the retailers have to now have this program. So normally, up till now, when you pay with a bank card or a credit card, you don't have to show ID. It's illegal, actually, to ask somebody for ID when they use a credit card, at least here in Montreal. I know this because it actually happened to a friend of mine, and she considered it was discriminatory, and she complained. And it wasn't legal what the cashier did. But now, because of all this stuff, it's all for our safety, right? It's all to make our banking safer. And it's true that the more you go digital, the more you're using even cards and chip cards and digital, the easier it is to get hacked. That's why I don't have any banking on here, because I don't trust it. That same friend who they carded her for ID when she went to use her credit card in Westmount, her husband also got his phone hacked, and they managed to get into his bank account and take $20,000. And they even applied for a loan, and it was apparently very, very quick. And she managed to, get them at the bank to fix this and, give them their money back. But the bank even gave them a hard time and tried to make it like, well, it was your fault for leaving your phone, because he left his phone in the car, and they broke into the car and stole the phone. And then apparently all they had to do, I didn't know this, but yeah, it was terrible. I would be so traumatized. I can't even believe. So when you use a phone and there's an emergency call thing here, because they had his name, they could literally just call that and say, oh, I forgot my PIN to get into my phone. And the phone company gave it to them. They told them the PIN to get into the phone. So then they got into the phone. And once they were in the phone, they went straight into the bank. And they started doing all this crazy stuff in there. It was $20,000. Yeah. So, the more that we go digital, the more you can have cybercrime. So what they were talking about in this article here that I was just showing was, so they decided that they're going to have a new system, a new layer of security, so that when you go to make, I'll just read it to you. Anyone who banks or makes online purchases will be impacted, as you will be subject to extra security checks to try and make safer transactions. And if they can't verify the transaction is genuine, or the retailer is not set up to make the checks, the card payment may be declined. I mean, really, what could possibly go wrong? You go to the store with your own cards, and because there's something on the store's end that their system isn't working properly, or somehow you didn't get the code, the thing can be declined. The changes are coming in under a new financial conduct authority fraud prevention rules known as strong customer authentication. You guys see where this is going? So this is for England. The Financial Conduct Authority, a program called Strong Customer Authentication. Like, it's not enough that you have a PIN or that you have the card on you or whatever. It's not enough to take the risk that occasionally, yes, somebody might steal a card. No, they're going to have this other thing. So then you have to get a code when you want to use your own bank card. Just like when you want to log into eBay and you have to get a code on your phone. So back to the phone again. And if the retailer isn't ready for the process, there could be times where your card might be declined. Well, that's not okay. I mean, what if you need something? What if you're me having to go to Samsung to get your phone replaced? Assuming I have somewhere. Yeah, well then, what if your phone breaks? Exactly, there, another problem. Then for sure you can't pay for your stuff. A one-time passcode. Oh, they say MasterCard estimates 1 in every 4 payments will require the extra check. So Lord help you if something goes wrong with your phone or with, at any level of this whole thing. I'm just looking for what else I had here that I wanted to share with you. Oh yeah, and then the other thing is they're going after digital, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, some people asking me here about what's going on with the truckers. Yeah, I haven't really been following so much what was going on with that in the States. I'm really focused on this whole digital ID and digital currency thing. Because I think a lot of the other things, I mean, yeah, they're also really serious. But meanwhile, like, while we're all worried about that, there's all this other stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah, what if someone doesn't have a cell phone? Exactly. Or, you have a flip phone, or I don't know what. But yeah, like, it's all working on the assumption that we all have access to all this technology all the time and that everything works perfectly. So a lot of people are thinking, well, since they're talking so much about digital currency and digital ID and all this, and now, like, you see what's going on with what's happening in Europe, that they can literally, like, I mean, another country can somehow, like, yeah, okay, so these are American companies, so maybe that's why, but like MasterCard, Visa, they can just shut business to all those customers, but somehow also another country is allowed to seize the assets of rich people from the second country. I don't know how, without there having been any specific proof of that person having committed a crime. I mean, they call them oligarchs. These are rich people, but they're not the government. I'm not saying that, those are great people or nothing like that, but I'm trying to understand where. Yes, I'm Christian, or Origin Midwest wants to know. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'm looking at it through that lens too. But where do they get the right to seize those assets? I mean, imagine if, like, say China decided they didn't like what America was doing in, I don't know, another country, right? And then they just decide to seize Joel Osteen's yacht, or seize Hunter Biden's salary, or whatever. It could be really anything, go after the Bushes and Clintons and take their money. I don't think it would go over very well. So I don't even know how can they even do this, but what do I know, right? But usually there has to be some proof that, like, you committed a crime, and then they can seize your stuff. But what gives them the right to seize it, though? Like, what gives the Americans the right to seize it? Why not the Mexicans? Why don't can the Mexicans seize the oligarchs' boats too? How about, like, the Haitians? Like, I think Haiti's a pretty poor country. They could probably use some oligarch money. Why don't they seize the boats? Like, how come it's America doing it? That's what I don't understand. Something's very weird here. Anyway, people were thinking, well, I know what I'll do to get around this, so I don't have to, like, deal with this whole, like, oh, they're going to shut off my chip, with my digital ID. I'm going to just, like, set up a crypto account. course, you're going to have to use your digital ID and your QR and whatever else to log into your accounts to even get into your computer, probably to get to your Bitcoin account. But let's say you get to your Bitcoin account. Well, guess what? They're going after crypto. That's probably one of the biggest goals they have right now, is to regulate cryptocurrency, because that's like a major big black market. They don't like that at all. They want to make sure they have full control over what we are allowed to have. I mean, they obviously can have a lot of stuff, and they can take other people's stuff. It's not a problem. And they can take yachts, and they can take money and whatever. I don't get it. You know, it's like, we will own nothing and they will be happy. Pretty much. But so they're really trying to figure out how to regulate all this stuff. So here's a funny thing. I don't have a Bitcoin account. I mean, yes, obviously, if I set one up, a few years ago and put some money in it, I'd probably have money by now. But, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Right? It doesn't matter. I really don't think we're going to be here that long, personally. But Aaron had set one up, and he didn't really use it very much. But, occasionally, if he wanted to buy something online, he might use that instead of he has a credit card, but actually he had a problem with the credit card. So he has this Bitcoin account, and like from time to time, he might put a few bucks in there for online purchases. And just recently, something changed, which was that now you have to put in your phone number when you put money in or take it out. Whereas before, you just had your digital wallet, you had your key, and you just put in your key and put in your cash or take out your cash. And nobody's really asking any questions. But all of a sudden now you have to put your phone number in, right? I mean, pretty soon it's going to be more than that. You're going to have to put in a lot more. There's going to be more, some kind of verification. This is what they're really going after, because there's like loopholes or, holes in this system. Like, they want it to be completely tight. I've read the UN Agenda 2030 documents where they talk about digital currency and the shift and digital ID and all this. And they will tell you the reason they want to do it is to prevent corruption, right? And get rid of the black market, which, I mean, I'm sure that is a thing for sure. There is bad stuff that goes on there, but it's also just for more control. It's both, I kind of think, though, that if people who are really corrupt and doing really serious crimes are very connected, they'll still be able to do it, because you just have to be connected, and you can still launder money, I'm sure. If somebody's doing something that's really illegal, and let's say they're doing it through crypto or digital currency, but they're connected, it's just going to get laundered, I think, the way it always would have. It's just that if you're not on the inside, if you don't have that kind of protection, it'll be very easy to figure out what you're doing. And they could actually like bother somebody who like put $50 in a crypto account and like, oh, hey, where did this $50 come from? Or, oh, look, when you took it out, now it was worth 60. So you owe us, tax on the $10. Like, they can bother the little people, but I'm pretty sure that, with some of the stuff that the elites or the oligarchs or whatever, the super rich, that they've gotten away with in the past. Like, sometimes stories come out about, when they do get, they do get outed about things they do. They do stuff like a lot, For example, giving your son a job at, like, for example, a company in another country for the purpose of laundering money. So then it's like, well, no, he's getting paid to do a job, but really the money is just being funneled through him. So making it digital ID and crypto and digital currency wouldn't change anything. Those people are still going to be laundering money. It's just going to make it harder for the little person, and make it easier for the government to control what we have. So there was an article here on news.bitcoin.com. Dubai approves first law to regulate digital assets, establishes regulator to oversee crypto sector. That's just an example of what they're doing. Like, countries all over the world are really focusing on regulating digital assets. And like I just gave you the example of, now you want to go take money out or put money in at the Bitcoin machine. Now you have to put your phone number in, and that's just a really small start. And in case you weren't here before, when I mentioned also in England now, when you use your bank card or your credit card, you may have to get a verification code on your phone. More and more of this kind of stuff. Here was an article from Reuters: exclusive: Russians liquidating crypto in the UAE as they seek safe havens. Because now they're going after all that crypto stuff, so you can't, even the crypto isn't safe. And they're going to liquidate it in the UAE. So the UAE is going to cash it out for them, but they don't even want to keep it in crypto either. Interesting. Some people, say if you're going to try to hang on to what you have, although the Bible does say not to store treasure on earth, but to store it in heaven, right? But if you're going to store some treasure, it might as well be gold or silver, right? Maybe not crypto. Let's see what else was there. Oh, here's another one. Oh, okay, this was from the UK as well. I just want to take a second to let you guys know. Now, I didn't put the link underneath. That's so silly. I should have put the link. I wanted to tell you that, I guess I'll put the link after. I wanted to tell you that, this Keto Elevate powder that I used to use, that I was telling you, it was really helping me when I was on keto, because it's like it's just a pouch and you can bring it anywhere. When you're on keto and you go somewhere and you're super hungry, but you can't eat anything because everything is off limits on your diet. Well, the powder, it gives you all the keto fuel that you need. So you can just have it with you. And then if you need to eat something, just put a bit of that in your coffee and that'll do it, right? But even if you're not on keto, if you put some of that, it gives you the ketones, because it's all caprylic acid. So that's the kind of MCT that your body just turns right into ketones. So you don't even really have to be on the keto diet to get all the ketones from it, to just like supercharge your brain. Like, when you're just kind of in a slump and you feel like your brain's not like really working full capacity and you need a boost your energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Keto Elevate. Now, I'm a bit disorganized. I don't have the bag here, but you guys know I've talked about it before. And I'm going to have to leave you a link. I mean, I could pull it up now. I'm so disorganized. I'm just kicking myself because I'm terrible at that. Because all I want to do is just like make the videos and just talk about the stuff. I'm not always very good with this kind of stuff. But I want to share this link with you because this is one of my favorites. And okay, I have the link here. I guess I can put it in the chat because there's no like comment section right now. There, I'll put it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you can get a big discount. They're having their special again, up to 51% off. It tastes so good, and man, I went through a lot of different MCT powders trying to find one that was good. I tried to save money, and I bought one. It had like fibrous kind of stuff in it. It wasn't too bad, but it was more expensive than this one, unless I found it on like a big sale. And then I tried to get like the one that you get in bulk, and it tasted like soap and the stuff clumps. This one, it just dissolves completely. Tastes like creme brulee, not chalky. This is it. The Keto Elevate, it's not chalky at all. If you like this kind of stuff, if you like the MCT powder, it's a dream. I mean, really, it's so good. It's not chalky at all. And it doesn't taste like that soapy taste that coconut-based stuff has. It doesn't have that. It just gives the coffee like a thick creaminess, and it just dissolves perfectly. And it tastes, like I said, like creme brulee. Like, it's a little bit sweet. I wouldn't even call it vanilla. It's really good. Anyway, I just put the link there in the chat. So if you want to try it out, like the more you buy, the bigger the discount. But even for just 1 or 3 bags, it's still a good discount. But I really love this stuff. And so I discovered they were doing their promo again. So I wanted to promote it because I love it. Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know about that. And I'll put the link after as well. So here's another thing, though, about the crypto. Oh, Scottish Dave says, are we in the end days? Man, it really looks like it, though. Seriously. Does it mix well into drinks? Yeah, it totally does. I mean, you can put it in smoothies, and yeah, it does. It gives you a mental boost. It really does. I had a day the other day where I was just like, I don't know, just feeling like my brain wasn't getting a lot of fuel, and I threw some of that in my coffee, and it really gave me a big boost. Yeah. Will you like it? I think so. I mean, there's nothing to not like. It's delicious. You want me to say vanilla again? Vanilla. Um, Bill, yes, of course. I know all about that. I mean, I was friends with Stephen Shellen, the actor. And so, I mean, I interviewed him on the radio, but I didn't want to go in that direction and hear. But I mean, all the things that you guys have heard about, I've heard of it all too. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. I've been around for a while. Let's see what else. Um, OBS streaming software. Yeah, I really need to do that. I know. I have a hard time like with new things. I guess it's the Aspie in me. Oh, the end times. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, man, it's really looking like it. And I've known about end times since like 30 years. Oh, it's been a really long time. And when I saw that, I kind of had an idea in my mind of how it would play out. And I was like, yeah, I could see that could happen in my lifetime, but let's hope not. Let's hope it's like, the next generation. I don't want to deal with it. Like next generation, those people can deal with it. It's kind of selfish of me to just think of myself, like, oh, I don't want to live through the end times. Let somebody else do it. But I always took it seriously, and I always thought when I see those things, I'm gonna know. And what concerns me the most is the whole like move towards, yes, I know we're not really a one world government, but there is like a supranational one world government. That's what's worrying me, because people go, oh, but look at Florida, this is totally different than Canada. Yeah, I mean, I know Florida's not a country, but just to say, like, the government in an individual area could have a very different approach to things. Or look at, I don't know, Peru versus Italy. I mean, these are totally different countries, and yet it's like there is supranational one world government. That's what I'm thinking, like, as he says, we infiltrate the cabinets. I should go check my cabinets. I hope he hasn't infiltrated them. It's so creepy. Hi, Golden Fields. Love you too. He infiltrates the cabinets. I'd say that counts as some kind of one world government. I mean, you still have governments on the national level, but you have supranational influence. I mean, influence from a supranational body. And it's everywhere. Europe, Australia. I mean, they're all using the lingo. They're all using the same catchphrases and stuff. So they didn't just get that out of nowhere. So when we think of global government, does it have to really mean that there's like one president of the world and one parliament or one governing body? Not necessarily. To rule with a rod of iron, doesn't that resonate? That seems like exactly where we're heading, where they're closing up all the gaps. To rule all nations with a rod of iron. And they even said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Like, it's going to be the way we say, because I'm sure people aren't going to be like, yeah, we're cool with that. We don't want to own anything anyway. Like, who needs that stuff? Somebody's going to impose that, because people don't want to get rid of their stuff. I was even saying, like, how would you get people to like agree to forfeit their homes? That's ridiculous. Well, I guess if there was a really like huge economic collapse, I suppose it's possible that people might say, yes, come and rescue us. We'll surrender our property if you just keep us alive. I'm not an expert on the Bible, but like that verse about, he who seeks to save his life shall lose it. Right? That comes to mind. I mean, it becomes like a spiritual issue here. How hard are you going to cling to what you have here? It's very difficult for us. I think it really pushes us in terms of our faith, for those of us who see it that way. But I mean, there's the other signs too. I mean, the hyperinflation is the black horse, and we're not there yet. but it looks like it's heading in this direction. And yes, there have been individual countries, like it happened to Cuba. They were eating their cats at one point. It happened in Venezuela. It can happen in one country, and then eventually they'll get back on their feet. And that was not the black horse, but it looks like, because of what they're doing to certain European country, a certain country, which I won't name, because I mean, this is literally where we're at with YouTube. Like I won't even name the country. You guys know what I'm talking about. That they're going to lock their economy down, but we're so interdependent. This is what globalism was all about. It was all about like this global village and the free trade between countries, and it's like we're all in this together. You can't lock one of them out without having major repercussions on everyone else. And they're trying to now, America is trying to force China to do what America wants them to do. And China is a big, huge superpower. Why are they going to listen to America? I mean, they could, but why would America be able to force them? You'd have to wonder how could it be that a country like America could tell China what to do? But either way, just with what they've already done with all this these massive embargoes and pulling out of an economy of just such a huge country, that it plays a big role in the global economy. It's having repercussions that it looks like we're heading into something like a really large scale economic collapse. I don't want to be like Debbie Downer here, but let's hope it works out okay. But the way things are going, it seems like one domino after the other. It's set up in such a way that the only logical outcome would be that hyperinflation would happen and collapse. And seriously, it's not over. The repercussions of the pandemic, or rather the lockdowns, is still here very much. Just because we're getting rid of restrictions, it didn't fix everything, obviously. If you walk down St. Catherine Street, so many stores are closed. Actually, not just St. Catherine, but just for an example, Main Street, downtown in the shopping area. You walk down that street and boarded up, butcher paper on the windows. And it's like, this isn't normal. It's like the city is sick. It's like parts of the city are literally just dying. It'd be like that when I walk through downtown and I see these stores all boarded up, it's like it has lost fingers and ears, and that's what it looks like to me. It looks very unwell. And then how is it going to restart just like that? And then I'm willing to bet we're going to be in for another round in the fall. I'm willing to bet this is not over. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but a lot of people just kind of think, oh, this whole thing, it's all behind us, this whole pandemic thing. I don't think so. I think we're going to have a great summer, though, on a positive note. I've said this before. I think we're going to have a good summer, but I think that in the fall, we're going to probably have problems, but probably a lot of stuff's going to come back. It's going to come back through your phone. You know what I'm talking about? Another round. Okay, so here's one more thing about the digital stuff, because I'm going to have to go pretty soon. So this was from azcoinnews.com. UK FCA warned that any crypto ATMs operating in the country are illegal and must be shut down. What? Yeah, here it is also on BBC. Bitcoin cash machines ordered to shut down in the UK. I'm going to open it up. Check it out. Can you see it? Oh, it's really bad. I need that screen capture software. You can't really see the article. Anyway, it's from BBC. All UK cryptocurrency cash machines are operating illegally and must be shut down, the Financial Conduct Authority has announced. Well, they just decided, shut them all down. Kind of weird, eh? Though, I mean, they've been operating for all this time, and all of a sudden now they're illegal, and you got to shut them all down. Crypto ATMs look like regular cash machines and let people buy cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin using their bank cards. I mean, to me, that sounds like, well, that's pretty legit. I mean, if it's bank cards. But anyway, but no company offering cryptocurrency services in the UK has a license to operate a crypto ATM. The FCA said all such machines must be shut down or it will take action. According to Crypto ATM Directory Coin ATM Radar, there are 81 functional crypto ATMs in the UK. We regularly warn consumers that crypto assets are unregulated and high risk, which means people are very unlikely to have any protection if things go wrong. People should be prepared to lose all their money if they choose to invest in them. It sounds like they're trying to scare you off, It's a bit. FCA publishes a list of companies that appear to be involved in cryptocurrency but have not registered their business with the regulator for anti-money laundering checks. So see, it's not that there was anything, it's not that they found them doing anything to the money that was going in them, but they're not registered. So now they're saying, this goes back again to what I said about Agenda 2030 and the whole thing being about money laundering and what do they call it? Corruption. This is what they're saying. Well, maybe people are using these machines to launder their money. Yeah, they probably do. Some people probably do. But I mean, look, Montreal is kind of famous for the mafia construction industry. So if you want to launder money, and I'm not saying you should, but this is how people do it. They just have to have a legitimate business. Then they get the black market money, like in the construction mafia. They have construction companies. They get money from, often it's actually from the government, as so happens, and from wherever else. And it goes to the construction company. On the books, it's the construction company. But they didn't really pay as much, like they could say, well, we had to pay X amount for labor, but maybe they didn't really. I mean, who knows? But apparently this is why also the construction always takes forever here, because it's really more about money laundering. So I'm not an expert in laundering money, but people have been laundering money forever. It's not like they needed Bitcoin machines to do it. And I'm pretty sure that no matter what, they're going to keep doing it. Like I said before, hiring, making sure your son gets a job at, I don't know, like, for example, I don't know, an energy company in a foreign country, right? And then he gets paid like, I don't know, like $85,000 a week or something. And then actually that's sort of laundering money right there. So it said that since the publication of its list, 110 of the crypto companies had ceased trading. And yeah, so that's it. They are ordering them to shut down in the UK. Shut down. So, I mean, you still would have your money in the crypto wallet, but they're just trying to find ways to keep people from being outside of the scope of their reach, But you see, it's not just that people are laundering money. People are also just afraid that they're going to have their assets seized for like no good reason, because it's happening. And shutting people out of their bank accounts doesn't give people confidence. They feel like, well, geez, I could just like make a donation to the wrong fundraiser, or who knows, I could do just any random thing. I could have like, a cat competition and accidentally have Russian cats in it. And the next thing you know, my assets are frozen. I mean, it's an exaggeration, obviously, but I think people are starting to think like things are really out of control. They don't feel safe. They don't feel like their assets are safe. They're just trying to find ways to protect themselves. And it looks like at the same time, there is more drive than ever to close all those avenues that people use. Joanna says, if cryptocurrencies are in your wallet, they cannot be shut down. Well, right. I mean, look, this is supposed to be, but they're really trying to find ways to get in there. They're trying to find ways to regulate it and to control it. It's exactly because they can't get in it. That's why they're so hung up about it and they want to do something about it. But it's weird that the Russians went to the UAE to liquidate their crypto. They weren't hanging on to it. They were liquidating it. Huh, that's interesting. So that's it for me about the crypto stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and my horrible experience with my phone dying. And then thinking like, wow, like good thing that my whole life isn't in here, because I'd be locked out. Like, what would happen? What happened if my driver's license was on here and my phone died, or maybe just died from the cold? And then you get pulled over, and then you can't show your driver's license because it's on your phone. It's kind of, yeah. So I'm gonna wrap it up in a couple of minutes and just read a few of your comments here. Oh, the Grove says, do you think Pierre Poilievre will be the next PM of Canada? Well, it does happen that they vote liberal, and if they're really unhappy with the liberals, they'll go conservative the next time. It does happen. So it's possible the election could come out conservative. Is possible. Probably like conservative plus NDP for some reason. But the weird thing is Jean Charest is trying to run as the head of the Conservative Party. What's really weird about that is that he used to be the head of the Liberal Party here in Quebec. A few years ago, they wanted to increase the tuition fees for students, and there were protests for months. I don't know if you guys remember this. The students were marching around every night, making a ton of noise, and they would march all over the city for like 2 or 3 hours and make a racket. And there was tons of police out there. They had these helicopters that were like $1,000 an hour. They were spending a fortune on it. People were saying, why don't you just like freeze the tuition hike and stop spending all your money on this? In the end, it got so bad that the government actually called an election. And there was an election, and then Pauline Marois got elected. She was the head of the Parti Québécois. And then she tried to pass this thing for the, what do you call it? Like the, when you're banning all the religious symbols. They have a name for it, though. Well, I forget what they call it. Somebody help me out here, Olivier. Laïcité de l'État. Yeah, that's it. It's like the non-religiousness or whatever. So they like ban hats, basically. So she tried to do that. And that pissed people off so much. So then they had another election. It's kind of weird how we can just call elections whenever we want up here, apparently. I don't know why they don't call one now. Get them out. Get them out. I know we just had one, but maybe we can call another one, Anyway, so here they called 2 elections back to back. So they got Jean Charest out for the tuition hikes. Then they kicked out Pauline Marois for the religious symbols and the hats. Then they got the liberals back in. Then they got the tuition hike anyway. I think they got it actually under Parti Québécois. And then we ended up getting the hats banned anyway. It all happened anyway, in spite of all the protests and all the elections. But anyway, Charest was a liberal here. So like, what's he doing now heading the Conservative Party? I wouldn't trust him at all. I mean, this is a guy that when he was in charge in Quebec, there was huge protests every night. Like bordering on a riot. I was there. I remember at one of them, there was like a fire and stuff. So it got pretty heated, pun intended. So I wouldn't want him as the head of the Conservative Party. I can't even understand what he'd be doing there. Why? Okay, wait. I'm reading somebody's comment. Hope you get my message. I was trying to remind you of a nightmare you had and AZ gone to camp. I know what you're talking about. I know. Yeah, I remember that nightmare. I woke up from it and it was like I was in this place. And the hallways were like super, super, super wide. And I was in this room, right? But it wasn't really just a room. There was like a common room, and then there was like little like mini apartments around the outer edge. And then there was like this big balcony, so you could go outside, but there was like a big gate. So there was no way you could go over the balcony, but you could go outside on the balcony. And it was sort of like, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like a prison. Like it had a central thing, and then these sort of like, it was like a hub. But I mean, there were no bars or anything, but it was just like, it was some institutional kind of setting. And there was a big, huge door. And then across that huge hall, there was another one. So it's like these were like little like community hubs. So there was this like communal area, and then there was these like little private areas around the edge. Yeah. And she knows why I had mentioned that. And this was a long time ago. And I wasn't with Aaron, I was with Gunnar, and I was anyway, like what does it mean? I mean, we dream about things. It's probably just a dream. Um yeah, I've never actually been in prison. Hi Tina. I've never been in prison, but I mean, I've watched a lot of prison shows, so you don't have to be there to know what it looks like. But it was more, it was different. It wasn't like a normal prison. Like they weren't cells. They were more like, I mean, it was weird too because it was in the city. You'd think these kind of things would be out in the country, but it was in the city. So Sonia's like conspiracy Mr. Rogers reading Rainbow LeVar Burton. Welcome to the neighborhood. Today we're going to talk about how they're trying to take control of your digital assets. Are you ready, kids? Can you say Bitcoin? Can you say the Bitcoin machine is closed? Yeah, I thought you could. So I have puppets too. I should bring them out sometime. My post about 2 weeks ago. Oh, what? With my slippers, my social justice warrior slippers. Yeah, I don't have them on today. I love those slippers so much. Vicky gave them to you. Vicky Hollenrake, who is in the she's in the chat. She's a moderator. She gave me those slippers when I went to I stopped at her place on the way. I went to Ontario. So I think that was it. I hope you guys had a nice hangout. I feel like I'm the only one, I'm doing all the talking, but hey, I guess I'm live. So I better talk or there'll be nobody, it'll be like dead air. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're talking in the chat. Now I feel like I wanted to ask you guys a couple questions before I wrap it up. And I'm always telling myself, I'm not going to go over an hour. Never. Who knew that a single small person could talk so much? Well, it happens. So I was wondering, okay, like I think you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I'm not the government. It's just a small survey. I should have panels. What kind of panels? Tina. Like opinion panels, like the government does. They spend like billions of dollars doing opinion surveys to make their decisions, based on opinions. After they feed you propaganda, then they check if it's working. If it's working, they're like, "Yep, we're ready." Then they announce the paper. This is what the people want. They want to ban the Russian cats from the competitions. There are YouTubers that do live streams for 7 hours a day, every day. Yeah, well, I could see that being fun. Once I got in live stream and I got to like see you guys live and like directly interact with you, I was like, oh, it's really fun. It's more fun than doing a video. I've been doing videos for a long time. It's really actually a ton of work. You wouldn't believe. Like so much research and then like planning what you're going to say and then recording it and then the editing takes forever. It could literally take like 2 days, not morning to night, but like 2 large chunks of 2 days. Oh yeah, I need to hook up my phone so that I can live stream on the phone. Because you know what I really want to show you? I was sort of debating, should I just do it as a video? I want to show you guys the toll that the pandemic or the lockdowns have taken on our city. I don't know how it is where you are, but I mean over here, man, it's like a sort of ghost town, it's pretty freaky. Oh, thanks, Dale. Yeah, I haven't had Anita on in a long time. I was thinking, I don't know, I hope she doesn't hijack my live cam then one day. That would be terrible. I'd probably get my whole channel shut down. What's a panel? Oh, you can have like more people on than you? Yeah, I'd like to do that. The only thing is it's extremely dodgy. You have to really know how to like work around the guidelines. Like all it takes is for somebody to like open their mouth and say like the wrong word and Shut you right down. Oh, by the way, I saw Kim Iverson, who's from The Hill now. She was talking about what happened to her channel. Her channel was doing really well, like same like mine. Everything's going well. You know, you're getting views, your channel's growing, you have a nice audience, everything's going well. And then it was just like with me. Like all of a sudden her channel was like shadow banned. Her subscriber count got locked. Now, you know how many people told me that I was crazy to think that they would do that? That, oh, that couldn't possibly happen. I even emailed YouTube and I was like, something's wrong. Like, it's locked. And they're like, no, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It was definitely locked though, because I'd been on here for like 10 years and subscriber counts go this way. They don't go this way unless you did something really bad, like returned an adopted child. You know, that then maybe people will unsubscribe en masse, or if you got like a bug or something. But normally it goes up. Sometimes it goes up very slowly, and you might have some days where you lost more than you gained. But on the long term, like it goes this way. Well, mine started going the other way. And it went on like that for like a couple of years. I was at 108,000 subscribers and it went all the way down. I mean, all the way down. It went down by at least 2,000. For like a whole year, it stayed totally level. And then it slowly started to go down. So I was like, something's really wrong here. And I used to get like 50, 70, 100,000 views on my videos. And sometimes they'd go really viral and get like 1 million views. So here I was like, no, I am not going to give up, because it really makes you want to just exit stage left. I'm done. But I was like, nah, I'm still going to do it just for the interaction with you guys and for what it's worth. And because I'm a creative person and I'm also like always looking at information, and I'd rather just, I'll just keep doing this it's like an online kind of log, right? It's a video log, even if it's not working very much as a business anymore, but whatever. And eventually, after like 2 or 3 years, it seems like something changed, and now my subscribers are going back up, but very, very, very slowly, But I've been over this for a long time. Like I decided I was just going to keep doing it, even if I'm not making money off it. No, I mean, like before, I used to actually like really supplement my income with it. It was like, even if I'm not making money, and even if I'm losing subs, and it makes me feel like, oh man, I must be such a terrible person. Like everybody's just leaving. They all hate me now. Maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. I should have kept the blue hair. They liked me better then. I decided to just keep doing it. Well, I heard Kim Iverson, the same thing happened to her. So, just because she was talking about certain things that at the time they were considered misinformation, it switched and they were considered like, oh yeah, we can consider this could be what happened, because it's on the mainstream news now. So like, but even after the narrative changes, they don't remove your strikes. So she got some strikes for talking about things that at the time were taboo, later became sort of mainstream, but still like ruined her. But she managed to get hired at the Hill, and she goes and works there now. So me too, I was shadow banned. But what happened was I had a couple strikes that I didn't appeal them right away. Or I had like one at least that I didn't appeal. I was just like, whatever, I just left it there. Yeah, I was talking about Kim Iverson, yeah, from the Hill. Yeah, that it happened to her too. She was on YouTube and she got like shadow banned. But yeah, I mean, it happened. I don't know if they reversed it with her, but I was going to say something else about it, but I forgot what it was now. But yeah, oh yeah, I had the strike that I didn't appeal. And then I finally did. And I'm really lucky that I waited, because by the time I appealed it, the stance on this issue had changed. So it was no longer considered like a violation. Like they still took the video down, but they didn't give me a strike. They took the strike off. And I think there were two like that they got strikes, but by the time I appealed it, the situation had changed. And so it was just that the video was taken down, but they didn't keep a strike on my channel. I was like, wow, man, I was lucky, But it's quite dodgy. Like really, it's nothing like it was 10 or 12 years ago. I want to do another live where we can talk a little bit about cults. That's another thing I'm interested in. Oh yeah. So here's one question I had for you guys before I leave. Actually, I don't feel like leaving yet, because I really, really wanted to ask you some things about you. And now we're back at the same amount of time that it took my last one. I'm always saying like, oh, I won't be on here too long because I have to put Gunnar to bed and stuff. But I want to take a few minutes to ask you, okay, first of all, I think that my audience is in the age range of like 35 to 65, with mostly being over 40. I could be wrong, but I kind of think that you guys are sort of in my age group. That could just be me and my just my perception. Great guess. Oh, okay. So if you don't mind, tell me how old you are. I'd like to know. Okay, 32. It's like just a little bit younger, 51. Oh, we have a young one, 20. Okay, 15. Wow. NM Condon. And I've seen your name before. I had no idea you were only 15. You're like my son's age. Okay, most of you like around 50s, yeah, late 40s, 72. Cool. That reminds me, 72, Linda, you posting that reminds me of my friend Anne. She's also 70. And that's Anne Diamond, who wrote the book My Secret War, which was about the Allen Memorial. No, My Cold War. Sorry, it was called My Cold War, and it was about the Allen Memorial. I'm gonna probably go back into the chat later and check out your ages again because I do want to get to know you guys. I seriously don't even know if you're male or female or how old you are. I have no idea. So Anne Diamond, when this all happened, like last fall, when our government here said they were adding more restrictions, you know which ones? She decided she didn't want to be stuck here with that. And hi, Claire. Yeah, I guess you know mine. He's 14 and a half. Same. That's cool. Thanks for telling me that about you. Appreciate it. Oh, more people raising kids on the spectrum. How cool. I mean, cool that you're telling me, like happy to have you here. Yeah, so Anne Diamond decided to split and she went to Greece and now she's in Turkey. And yeah, she's like 70 years old. She has no kids, She's super fit. She still looks like a supermodel. She's like got the energy and she was able to get out and she's out there like having adventures now. And now she's in Turkey. So I wonder where she's going to go next because I mean, I don't know, Europe these days. Oh, lots of you have autistic kids or grandkids. That's another thing I wanted to do like a live one day where we could just talk about our autistic kids. What I want to do at some point is share with you like the parenting approach that I took with him, which was a very hands-off approach. It's kind of like a combination of what they call the sunrise approach, which you probably know about, and also the radical unschooling. So it's like a sunrise is sort of where you meet them on their terms, and radical unschooling is where you let them have a lot of freedom. And I think it was a good thing. I mean, not to say we don't have any problems now, we do, but his self-esteem is very good. And that's also very important. So that was cool to see your age range. And I think I was pretty accurate about that. Roughly, most of you guys are in that range. I mean, I figure it's not a lot of like people under 35. Makes sense. Red Pill Productions. Hi. I know you. I've seen you here. You've been watching since I did the kombucha videos. Oh man, I love kombucha. I paid for a bottle today. It was worth it. That's my guilty pleasure, my kombucha that I got. I got a turmeric and ginger. Is really good. Dr. Usman? Wait, is that the guy who like tells you to like give them olive oil and stuff like that? I'm not sure if that's the one. Spoon Lady. She's awesome. Of course. Yeah, she's amazing. Cool, like hillbilly music, Seaweed supplements. Yeah, apparently they're really good. My son, he got on a trip of eating the seaweed sheets. I was lucky. That's something he really enjoyed when he was little, and apparently it's really healthy for you in a lot of ways, which I feel like I can't even say what what they are. What is kombucha? No, it's not alcohol. It's a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. So you make like a tea, and you can put some fruit tea in there, not citrus, but some other flavors in there, or you can add flavors after. You put this culture in, and it ferments the tea, so it's like a natural soda, but it's not that sweet. It's fizzy, but it's really good for you. It has all these great probiotics in it and stuff like that. That was Vicky, who's in here, Victoria Hollenrake. She's the one who brought me my first SCOBY and got me started with the kombucha. My biggest problem with that is that I don't have the storage space for like cold bottles, because once you fermented it, and I love doing the double fermentation. So you ferment it, then you bottle it, and you put some raisins or something, and then it really gets fizzy. That's the double fermentation. Skyanne, no, I've been here for like an hour and 25 minutes, but I'm going to stick around for just a few more minutes. So then you get really, really fizzy, good kombucha. Some alcohol from the fermentation, yeah, but it's like 0.5%. Like, it doesn't count, trust me. It doesn't count. But then you have to keep it cold, because once you ferment it to a certain point, you wait a few days, it's fermented, then you have to put it in the fridge, or it will turn into either alcohol or vinegar. But it won't be good anymore if you can't just let it sit in the cupboard. And I don't know where to put it because my place is so small. Somebody can't stand kombucha. I don't understand that. I love the stuff. I do have a soda stream too, and that's a lot of fun too. And what's cool about the soda stream is because my son can drink soda whenever he wants, but we just put like not even half the sugar, so it's a lot less sweet, but it's still fizzy. And so he feels very spoiled. Dr. Anju Usman. Oh, yeah, I know who she is. Yeah, I had that book from Dr. Kenneth Bach, and there was a whole chapter in there from her and her story with her daughter and what happened with the allergies there. That was sad. Yeah, I know who she is. Silica. Yeah, there's a lot of like minerals that we probably don't get as much of because, I don't know, like I think in the old days, people would get their food right out of the ground that was not over farmed, so it was like organic soil, and there's probably still like traces of even soil on there. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my mom was growing all these organic vegetables, and we would take the carrots out and just sort of brush off the sand and eat them. So we're probably getting like tons of stuff, who knows what, probiotics or all kinds of things that we don't get now. Hi, Royal Calvin. Eat more root vegetables. Here's a funny thing about vegetables. This is something I discovered one day, like browsing random videos, and I found out that there was this study. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it was about, but they had to take a capsule which contained a certain kind of bacteria that had been, let's say, harvested from another human being and like processed. Okay, let's just put it that way. I think maybe you guys know what I'm getting at here. Well, the thing was that it was harvested from people who were in Africa who had these diets with extremely high fiber. And this was all like in a clinical setting with a doctor, right? So they discovered that eating these extremely high, microbiome transfer, exactly, that's what it was, yeah. So depending on what your microbiome is, it can affect how you metabolize carbohydrates. So some people who have like a lot of trouble with, like you just, they say a minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. You literally eat one pastry and like it goes right away, it sticks. Yeah. And like you just can't, it's super hard to lose weight. I mean, I deal with some of that, maybe not as bad as some people. I know my son has dealt with it where he was really not eating that much, but it was like he was getting heavier and heavier and he was really having a lot of trouble. Well, anyway, so a lot of that has to do with your gut flora, apparently. And so they had discovered that these Africans, they eat tons and tons of fiber, and that was what was changing that was affecting their gut flora. So they can eat like tons and tons of food, but it wasn't, it wasn't about counting calories or what kind, like, was it carbs or was it fats or protein? There was so much fiber in there, and the fiber itself was feeding the bacteria in their gut that was favoring a good metabolism of carbohydrates and just like a good metabolism in general. And then by transferring microbiome to these volunteers, they started having those effects, and they were eating fiber too, but they'd only been doing it a short time. But you could literally transfer bacteria from one person to another and affect their metabolism. And there was another study like that. These were like diabetic men in England, and they had a bacteria transfer. And not only did it affect their diabetes and like they started to regulate their blood sugar, but they also started to lose weight. And there were other cases. There were so many that there was another one that was documented where a woman had to have a transplant from her daughter because that woman had had some kind of very serious problems, and it was like a last ditch attempt. Hi, Ruth. But the daughter had been on antibiotics and had been experiencing rapid weight gain after the antibiotics. So maybe the antibiotics had affected her gut flora because she had a transfer. She gave a transfer to her mother, and guess what happened to mother? Rapid weight gain. So, yeah, that's what it was, Shalom. So anyway, that whole fiber thing, that was like, wow, that's really interesting. But, I mean, I like salads, but I don't know. I've tried to, this like eat like a bear diet where you have this giant salad bowl. I tried to eat that, but it was like a chore, man. I was like, I don't know, so much chewing. So I never really did figure it out. I'm trying to find a shortcut. Actually, the company that makes the Keto Elevate, they have something called metabolic greens. I really want to try that stuff. I want to see if it's going to be a shortcut. Maybe that's what I need. Or, some other company, but I'm interested. But I thought I'd tell you guys about that. Yeah, antibiotics really change your flora. I wanted to share that with you that apparently, yeah, it's the fiber is like super key. Yeah, Victoria, exactly. That's what her mother had. Exactly. She had transferred because she had C. diff. Yeah. It was a medical procedure, and it was all in the mainstream news that she started having rapid weight gain right after, just like her daughter who she got the transfer from. So, because I mean, I know there's a lot of like negative stuff people say about people who are overweight. They're like, oh, you just eat too much and now you want to just justify that you're fat. But like I've seen it with my son. Like he was really not eating that much. My friend's kids ate way more than he did. I couldn't believe how much they ate. My friend's daughter came over. She would eat like a whole bowl of spaghetti and then a whole other bowl. And my other friend's daughter came over and she'd be eating chocolate bars. My son would never have chocolate bars. And he wouldn't eat like these huge portions. Granted, he wasn't really exercising that much at that point. That's because he had fibromyalgia, so he was like in pain all the time. And it really becomes like a degenerative cascade where all these things, these factors like on top of each other. And I saw this happen to him. I mean, I knew before that obesity was like a metabolic disorder. I already knew that anyway. But with him, I could really see like how much it was really not like he was doing anything wrong. So I feel terrible when I see people saying horrible things about people who have too much weight, like a weight problem or they're obese, and they really judge people. And it's like it's trendy to do that. It's trendy to say that like fat acceptance is a bad thing. I mean, I don't think people are accepting that there's not health risk with being overweight, but they're just like, trying to encourage people to accept themselves, because there's no point hating yourself, but it is definitely a health issue. And I'm really happy that my son was able to make a lot of progress because he worked really hard to get himself fit. I don't know how in the end he did it. I didn't know that he would have so much progress, but he really worked on it a lot. He changed his eating habits a lot. Not that he ate less, but I guess he included some more foods. Maybe it changed his flora, and he did exercise more. And there was a lot of things that happened that helped him heal. And he's doing really, really well now with this whole fibro thing. Being overweight is the new healthy. Well, I think it's a problem that a lot of people have just because of the way the the system is and the way the diets are, and they give us antibiotics and whatever else. And I mean, people end up with obesity, but it's weird when you look at other countries. There's some countries where it just doesn't happen, or very little. And you got to look at what's different about what are they doing over there, you know? And I'll tell you, for me, okay, the one thing I learned from my own experience when I was young, there was absolutely nothing wrong with my metabolism. There was nothing wrong with it. Oh, congratulations, Teresa. That's awesome. You must be happy. I was healthy, but I was one of those people that was like looking at magazines and judging myself based on them. And I don't have their body. I'm 5'2". I don't have long legs. I'm not a lanky person. And I'd look at these models and I would think, well, if I could get skinny enough, I could look like that. I mean, I was only 13 or 14, right? So I have like the mind of a child. And I started to diet. And if you're a healthy, I wish I could just warn all teenagers. I wish I could warn all the young girls, like, don't ever go on a diet because it'll just screw up your metabolism. Yeah, that's amazing, Teresa. Congrats. So that's what happened. Like, I was totally fine and healthy, and I just decided to like try to go on a diet to lose weight, and it totally screwed up my metabolism. Like I got that whole thing where like you're in starvation mode, so your metabolism slows down, and then when you eat normally, like you just start gaining weight, and it just set me up for years and years of struggles. I ended up being overweight for a really long time, and I just think you should just don't mess with it in the first place, you know. But yeah, that fiber thing, I thought that was really interesting, the way it changes your metabolism. Yeah, first spam. My first spam. It's a first. So, oh, Ruth says my sisters who have dieted have weight problems. And yeah, and that's why, like, when my son was having trouble with his weight, and he had a friend who had the same problem. Yeah, Vicky, can you block that for me, please? Block the spam. Um, her she put her son on a diet, and I refused to. I saw her doing it. I didn't say a thing. I never tell people what to do, but I was like, I wouldn't go that route. And she was giving him just like these very limited portions. It was all like fruits and veggie and whatever. Well, he did lose weight in the short term, but guess what happened after? It just came right back, and more. He was like my son, like overweight like my son. But after she put him on a diet, it just came back worse, you know. So I didn't do it with my son. I refused to put him on a diet. That doesn't mean that I was plying him with like junk food or whatever, but it really didn't have anything to do with that. But I would not do it because I know that for me, that was what started me having problems with too much weight, was me starving myself in the first place, you know. So that was pretty much it. I'm just looking at your comments again. Oh, hi, Bee Eater. Another person that has been here for a long time. Well, seems like an hour and 40 minutes is the magic number for me, because that's exactly how long my last lives were. I can vouch for olive oil and vinegar on salads. Oh, that's another thing with the salads. The vinegar and the lemon, like, really irritated my stomach. I haven't figured that one out. I'll have to make like a yogurt dressing or something. But I want to try to do more of that. And I'll let you guys know how that turns out. I'm going to do that whole like more lettuce and fiber thing, but it's so expensive. It was like $6 for 3 romaine hearts. I mean, it does help to be rich. I can see how rich people can be healthy a lot easier, you know. Oh, thank you, Samsara. Yeah, Spirit. Yeah, I think I should go. I do have to put the baby to bed, or we're gonna have a messed up day tomorrow. He needs to go to bed like now. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Oh yeah, like I said to you guys before, the special on the Keto Elevate is back on. Wait, did you guys just see like something like fly behind me? Did you guys see that? This is like the 3rd time that I've seen that. Wait, I'm going to give you the link for the Keto Elevate in case you were interested. I explained it before. It isn't like boost for your energy and your brain. But did you guys? Yeah, okay. Reality's here. that was the third time. I just saw like something like fly behind me. And I in the past when people pointed that out, I hope it's an angel. And when people pointed that out to me in my videos, I was like, oh, I'm sure it's just rabbit hair. But now it's the third time I saw like a white thing like go right by. I don't know what it is. Anybody out there who's psychic or whatever want to tell me what it is? I hope it's an angel. But okay, so what? What's flying around my room? All right. You guys feel free to like take a clip of this and like add it to your like haunted collection, you know. But I'm saved. I'm not worried, but I kind of wonder like maybe it is rabbit hair, but I don't see how that's possible. Anyway, we'll see next time. Maybe it's my dad. I don't know. But anyhow, thanks for joining me. Yeah, you guys go look, check out the footage when you go back. Like there's one at the sort of about 15 minutes in, and there's another one sort of in the middle. And no, it wasn't a light glare. It looked like a little white thing, like just like flying by. Like it looked like if like a big thing of rabbit hair just like flew by, but there is no rabbit hair. I know that for sure this time. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Thanks a lot for. Oh wait. Okay, one last thing. Yes, you want to see my rabbit? Hold on. Where is he? I know he's here. He's in the room somewhere. Hold on. Oh, there he is. Hey, come here. Come here, little buddy. Oops. Okay, I'll show you my rabbit before I go. Okay, well, good. As long as whatever's around here is loving. There he is. There's my little Mo. There's my little guy. Does it feel good to see it? No, I was just like, what was that? I don't know. I didn't really think much about it. The rabbit he's a lion head lop. So he's okay, lion head, it's bred to have like long hair here and in the back, but he's also a lop. And he's huge. I'll show you. Yeah, he's a looker, but he's a bit nippy. Like it's hard to cuddle. Like my other ones, you can really cuddle. I should show you my other ones. Yeah, he's very floppy. He's cute, eh? Look at those little button eyes. But he's nippy, you know, like he was always like that. So he's okay. Well, I'm not gonna worry about whatever's floating around there, but you know, that's just like I don't know. It's just kind of weird to see that, but I mean, maybe it is rabbit hair. I don't know. Anyhow, lionhead lob, feisty temperament. Like he'll tolerate me cuddling him. He's hilarious. Does he bite? Yeah, he does actually. Sometimes. Like if you put your hand, ow! Like right now, like he just bit me. I told you he's not super cuddly. I don't know why he does that. It's hard to like lie down with him and have him really cuddle you. But he's beautiful. And I saved him because he was a mutt. And I saved him and I brought him home, and I think he has a pretty good life, even if he's a grumpy little guy and he nips me sometimes. But I'll show you the other ones sometimes. The other ones are extremely friendly and cuddly, and Gunner like goes to bed with them. But this one, if you went to bed with him, he would nip you. I mean, he's not biting hard. Does he get along with the others? Not really. That's why I have to put him in here, because the other ones can run around outside there together. But I can't have him with them. If he gets with Snow, they'll like fight to the death. And with the female, they won't really fight. He'll probably just run away from her. But yeah, I can't. He doesn't play well with the other bunnies. But look at that face. What a freak. My big freaky rabbit. He probably gets the most attention from me, though, even though he's such a little. Oh, he did it again. You're so mean. That's what I get. No, he's biting me like here, but not hard. He's just biting me like put me down, you know? No, but he doesn't think that he's a rabbit. He thinks that he's like a big, tough guy, you know? See, there goes some rabbit fur right now. There, you see, that's rabbit fur. Maybe that's what it was. He doesn't think he's a little rabbit. He thinks that he's like a big, tough guy. Here, I'll show him. I'll show him to you. Put your ears down. There he is. He's like, what's going on? Why are you holding me like this? Okay, whoop, off you go. Okay, now I got rabbit hair everywhere. Yeah, I'll carnivorous rabbit, yeah. Well, okay, next time I'll show you maybe my other ones. But anyway, thanks a lot for joining me, you guys. And I think I'll come on here again next week. I tried to upload Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's like my schedule that I try to stick to. Doesn't always work out. But if you're wondering, like, when am I going to be here? Usually it's like Tuesday and Thursday between 7 to 9 is what I'm aiming for. But sometimes it's more like 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. Not before 7 for sure. More likely between 8 and 9:30. Anyway, so then you know. And lately I've been like popping in on the weekend. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And God bless. I'll see you next time.